coming back from the gym. Big sauna, big treadmill day. Sweating and burning calories, man. Drink a lot of water and take my supplements. Some protein in my body later.
everyone. Greetings from 2K Sports. Get ready for some NBA action. Alongside
That's way worse. Yeah, that's worse than Houston. I mean, you were mad, but not this. Yeah, you just said you wanted to eat her.
Which was the era of yearning is back. And she goes, Tiana, I just don't think that that's going to happen because men just don't yearn over women in the way that they used to. And the interesting thing about this is the reason why men don't yearn over women is because women now, more than ever, have been tolerating disrespectful behavior but staying. Not saying anything and staying. Putting up with it, not speaking up with the things that they don't like, allowing behavior regardless of how they feel about it because they want to stay with that man. Now, this is why women all over are struggling with the general population of dating or the general population of men is because men have been conditioned through what women allow that they can just do whatever the fuck they want. And granted, this is not about control. You're not supposed to control your partner. It's actually an equal give or take, and it's supposed to be respectful both ways. But if you want the era of yearning to come back and you want men to start treating you more respectfully, every single one of us as women have a responsibility to not allow disrespect because we raise the collective consciousness of what women believe they are worthy of and the level of respect that we believe that we deserve when it comes to receiving a partner. Because think about it, if the man who dates 5 women, right, 4 of those women don't allow that bullshit, like, amazing. Now the standard has been raised so he knows he has to show up differently. But if it's 3 or 4 women out of 5 that are allowing disrespect, that 5th woman is going to cop that same amount of disrespect. So it's our responsibility as women to not allow disrespect so that we can then call in better behavior from partners. And the same thing goes for women with the men who allow disrespect.
Keep lying to yourself because yearning over women isn't coming back again. This is wrong on so many levels. In the past 4 to 5 years, men have prioritized personality and character over pure looks. Even though looks are still important, they are just not the #1 requirement. In the social media era, women are convinced that superficiality is everything. Pure looks are for fun times and not for long times. Women just need to leave men alone if they don't approach them because they don't want to be with them. They can call it whatever they want, but they should just respect their wishes. Men used to have to date women until marriage for sex, but now, most women will hook up far quicker with a lot more men in their dating life. So the effort for men to get sex is far easier in 2026. And let's not forget that women created the hookup culture. Most of these modern women have personalities that are toxic to men and will damage men if they allow these type of women into their lives. Men need to learn to avoid these women because they are entitled, narcissistic, and chaotic. Most men are invisible to most women because for a man to even be able to date 5 women at once already showed that he is most likely to be 6 feet tall, makes well over 6 figures a year, he is in great shape and seriously attractive. Those type of men will always be dating multiple women at once whether you like it or not. If a woman really wants a loyal good man with good morals, unfortunately she is going to have to accept that it is never going to be the man that she finds super attractive as well as super successful. Women need to get real about the types of men they can actually get commitment from, because it is not going to be that special one-of-a-kind man that is in the top 1%. Nowadays, men are not approaching women or courting women because it is simply not worth it anymore. You all wanted your space. A lot of men simply listen and are acting accordingly. The juice is not worth the squeeze. Relationships come with unwanted heartache. Men don't want that for you or for them. Some men are avoiding it altogether. Most men would rather live in peace and have their bank account full rather than have it to be empty.
Okay, y'all, I just left Pilates, so I look like SHIT, so just whatever. Anyways, so one of my favorite TikTokers posted about, wife material girls, right? They asked this really, really, really pretty girl what made her wife material. She said, come on, look at me. And it was kind of like, I mean, there's a billion pretty girls, especially now with all the surgeries and everything. There's beautiful people, like, everywhere, like, you know what I mean? And so that just kind of makes me think, like, I hate to say it, man, but it's your fault. Like, men have trained women to believe that just because you're pretty, you can get whatever you want. And I'm not going to lie, I have that same thing. When I first graduated nursing school, I actually applied at, like, a nursing home, right? Like, I'm an LPN, like, let me just try to get in somewhere low-key, right when I graduated, right? And honestly, a woman interviewed me at a nursing home. I did not get the job. I then went and applied at UCSF. That is one of the most prestigious hospitals in California. And a man interviewed me, and I got the job. And I'm just like, okay, a man interviews me. I have no experience whatsoever. And he tells me how he likes my smile, how he likes my personality. He doesn't bring up any of the traits that I have that are relevant to the job. You know what I mean? So he hires me, and of course I do a good job, you know, whatever, right? All of a sudden, some time passes, I'm like, hey, you know, I'm tired of this commute. Let me try to get in at another hospital. I go to another hospital. Lo and behold, a woman and a man interview me, right? The woman was kind of like, we're looking for someone with a little bit more experience, looking for 2 years, you only have 1, you know, da-da-da. And the man was like, no, I think she got it, I think she got it. And again, the man, and I asked later on, like when I was there after 3 years, I was like, so like, you know, we kind of were talking about it, and I asked him, I was like, so whose idea was it to hire me? He's like, honestly, I pushed really hard for you to work here. And I was like, I freaking knew it. Again, a man, because he likes my personality, because he likes the way my face looks, because they like my smile, they will give me, underqualified me, the job before someone else who is less attractive than me. You know what I mean? So, and I think that works in the real world too, because you go somewhere, men are buying your groceries, men are holding the door for you, men are doing all these things to pretty girls, and you see that they're not doing it to the less attractive girls. Like, we all see it, you know? So it's like, for her, I feel like, yeah, we're like, why would she say it's just based off her looks? But that's just in her pretty privileged life. That's what she's accustomed to. She's accustomed to men wanting her simply based off of what she looks like. And is someone going to wipe her and treat her right? Yeah, they will, because she's extremely beautiful. Someone is going to. No matter her behavior, no matter her traits, they're going to put up with it simply because they don't want to lose out on a baddie. That's just the truth of it. And so, I personally think in this situation, men are 100% to blame.
When I first saw Men Are to Blame, I thought this was going to be some messy things like always, but this one is actually valid, and as a man, it is annoying to see other guys treat a girl better than they should just because she has a pretty face, especially when it comes to a professional matter like an interview. Beauty has nothing to do with aesthetics. Women listen to other women about what men want, and which is fundamentally egregious. You see this thing that you were talking about. Women do it too, and it works the other way around, but you are not wrong. On the flip side, some females will oftentimes give attractive females a hard time. They will oftentimes project their insecurities onto other females. Most men were told from a young age that sex sells. If you are attractive, the opposite sex during most interactions will be more apt to bend over backwards for you. It is a subconscious human thing, and we all have been guilty of it one way or another. The way the United States is set up, women hold more power over mating and dating than men because of this. However, men are constantly jostling for female validation and opportunity, so much and so oftentimes, they don't even realize that they're doing it. I know so many beautiful women that are not married but want to be. I know of a lot of average-looking women that are married. There is an advantage to being beautiful. No doubt, and men will do lots of things for beautiful women, but at the end of the day, they will trade them for another beautiful woman if they start getting on their nerves or becoming less beautiful. Personality matters as much as looks, if not more. Men have always given attractive women a pass on everything, but that is changing though, because beauty is no longer enough. Women are tough on other women when it comes to hiring. It is natural. Once a woman matures and changes her ways, she already made a difference. You will see the change, and that change will make him want to follow suit. Personality is always a relevant trait for public service jobs. Pretty privilege is the unfair advantage that men try to get women to understand while the others want to believe that they are on the same level.
Right now, too many grown women saying, no, culture's okay, yeah, baby, get what you need to get. They already ruined their lives. Don't let these grown 30, 40, 50-year-old, single, bitter, jaded women ruin these young 20-something-year-olds that actually still have a shot. These young 18-year-olds that still have a shot. And that's the problem. There are too many women that are out here ruining the shot for young women because we're not being honest. We're saying, no, baby, you can be sexually liberated. You can go on this sex walk. You can feel good inside of your body. You can do whatever you want. What life do they have that you want? The women that are saying this, they're single and jaded and bitter. The majority. Are there exceptions to the rule? Yes, of course there are. There's always an exception to the rule, but we don't speak to the exception. We speak to the majority. The majority of women are getting used up and recycled by a bunch of different men that are never going to wife them. They don't want to marry the man that is actually good for them because he doesn't look good. And the fact that the In 2026, that's the problem. Yeah, the measuring stick is so low. I just feel like, yes, if what you're saying is true, then that's not. I ain't gonna tell people what should anything. All I'm saying is, if you choose to be a sexually liberated woman, the odds of you marrying, being chosen by a high-value, high-earning, masculine man is a steep decrease. The more men you've slept with, the odds are even worse. That's just what it is. And that's the bed you made, you get to sleep in it. And some people might say, well, what if I've changed now? I'm sorry for you. And don't ever talk about your past. And if it gets brought up, don't lie, but pray to God it never gets brought up. Because that is important. And I think that's the point for me of this podcast.
Misery loves company off course. The greatest enemy of a woman is her fellow woman. Hookup culture is literally disgusting. They suffer from addiction to male validation and attention, teaching women to lead with their sexuality. Social media has people thinking that quantity is better than quality, so they think that the attention will last forever. I have tried to tell women that this was inevitable. You cannot expect to sow one thing into your own life and reap another. These women are just doing crazy things and then are causing their own storm, and then they are busy wondering why they are in that storm and getting wet and soaked. Women of today are not being taught about the meaning of marriage. All women are having Kim Kardashian syndrome. They need high-value men, but the problem is that they are not Kim. Old men give advice to young men from regret. Old women give advice to young women from resentment. Men say, don't do what I did. Women say, do what you want. The natural attributes of a woman have declined, and so has her value. A high-value man won't marry a woman without knowing her past. They are brainwashing her because they know they have tarnished their body already. I hope they catch on before it is too late. An issue is still present, and that is telling them if they aren't sexually liberated. They have the potential to end up with a high-value man, which still creates a problem, as the right person for them doesn't have to be high-value. People will always do what they want, and they will have to live with the consequences of their choices. Women who haven't been all around will always be looked at with greater value in the eyes of any real man. To be honest, telling all women to seek high-income men is crazy. These women need to wake up and live in the real world, because I don't think that they have any sense of humility. Like I have always said, if they are on social media, they are actively being poisoned by those feminists. Fellas, don't date any female that is constantly on social media.
This is the generation where women are looking for traditional, old-school men that show up with values, care about you, open the door, who know how to fix the things in their home. But what they're met with are men that are too scared of commitment and who are looking for just another hit on the internet. Where I'm not ready for a relationship means that they're really just out there looking to see if anyone else is better than you. Once they go out and they find out that literally no one else is better than you, then they come crawling back and you're like, go kiss them. This is the generation where people are actually encouraged to cheat when they're not happy. This is the era where relationships are actually situationships, because nobody will make a commitment to anybody because everybody is too scared of everything, and everybody feels like everybody is so accessible. So you just move through relationships as if they're transactions and nothing else. And people have literally confused what self-love means. People are saying self-love is like disrespect, but like seriously, it's just honesty.
I will admit it, Petty Betty showed up last night. So, matched with this guy named Luke, and he wanted to text instead of being on the app, and I was like, not a good idea on your part, but okay. So I give him my number, he texts me, he's like, hey, this is Luke, and I immediately like, hey, don't send a D-pic, this is a work phone, I will get in trouble, and then I'm gonna have to hunt you down like Liam Nelson and take it, like, please don't do it. He then starts laughing, and he was like, there's no possible way. I'm like, okay. So then he goes on to be like, what if it's a classy D-pic? And then he starts asking me for boob pics, and I was just like, okay, this is 2 seconds, like we're 2 seconds into this. No. So I said, Lucas, you're being rude, which is his legal name, which he did not catch on to. He then responds back, ha ha ha, my mom is the only one that calls me that. And I'm like, you mean Patricia? Himself. I'm like, you gave me your phone number. I could drain your bank account at this point. Steal him. I'm not sleeping. Fellas,
You have to like what you're seeing
if
from Luka
you
Doncic.
ask a lady on a date, and she travels to your side of town, across toll
Yeah, he
roads,
makes defenses look utterly
Sunday morning, coast traffic,
trying to
the
contain
name that has coffee and lunch for
This is who Eric
those
Spoelstra
people.
was on the floor.
Don't get to the end of the day and go, oh,
Then
I
there's
just
Luka
only
Doncic.
split the bill straight down the middle.
And it's Rose in at the
Then
two-guard spot.
travel the fuel and the tolls down the middle, you wit. $20 or $75. Fine, I'll catch it. $20.75. I would spend more than that in travel. Pick up your game, fellas. Seriously, that's the situation. I'm not saying pay for it all the time. I'm not saying that. But seriously? $20.75? How about you? Alright, everybody, so I'm done being quiet about this. Let's talk about it. This relationship is not for the weak. You have to be sure that this is what you want and your partner wants, and go all in. I just want to say, for the most part, I would say 95% of people are very accepting and very open and very happy for us and for the happiness that we have found with each other. But sometimes it's those that are closest to you that just don't understand. And you know what the saddest thing is for me? Is that these people don't care how happy you are. They don't care how happy we are, how much we've improved each other's lives, how much we've made each other better people. All they care about is how things look. Dating in your 40s is ghetto. Just trash. Trash. So, I matched with a guy on Match. We had a, hey, how you doing? You know, let's exchange phone number type conversation. So, I gave him my number. And this was like 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay. So, I'm expecting if I give you my number at 10 o'clock in the morning, then you're going to call me at 10 o'clock in the morning. Or very soon after that. So, no call. So, last night about 10 o'clock, my phone rings and it's a number I don't recognize. And I answered it because I was pretty sure it was not a bill collector or somebody just in case. Just in case it was somebody I might actually need to talk to. So I answered the phone. Hello? Hey, what's up? Not much. Who's this? Oh, this is so-and-so. Oh, hey. So, what are you doing? Sir, it is 10 o'clock at night. I am in the bed. Oh, I was thinking I might come through. Come through? Oh, we don't come through at this address. No, that's not what we do. I was like, no. I don't do come through. Like, no, sir. Yeah, no. And so he was like, well, let me get you back in just a minute. Okay, sure. Immediately blocked. Immediately blocked. We are grown. We are not doing come throughs at 10 o'clock at night. I am a grown woman. That's a grown woman job. I have to get up and go to work. So, yeah. Dating is trash. It's the ghetto. The ghetto. I immediately deleted my profile. I'm done. Can't do it anymore. Well, this is a drastic improvement over what I looked like before I put the filter on. So there's that. I'm going to tell you a story about dating today. Dating at 40, which is a nightmare. Worse than dating at any other age, I swear, is dating at 40. Last weekend I went out on a couple of dates, which is unusual for me. Usually I don't stack dates like that. I went on a date on Friday night with a guy who was really sweet, but there's no potential there. He is still married, separated, but that's not something I want to get myself into. Because who knows, maybe she comes back and he's like, I love you, and I want to make us work out. So no, he was really nice, we had a nice time. That was it. Haven't heard from him since. I think he
get the picture. Saturday, I went out with another guy who I had spoken to, and we had planned on having coffee and then going for a walk and then getting lunch somewhere. That's a lot for me. Usually on a first date, I like to just have something super low-key and casual so I can get out if I'm not enjoying myself.
In the painted area, converting against the side. Yeah, he didn't let the defense affect him.
So we got coffee, took a long walk, and we went to lunch. I thought it was going really well. I thought we were hitting it off. He was making a lot of eye contact with me. He seemed really interested. We were talking about things like common goals and ideals and morals, and we all seemed to be on the same page. It was working out pretty well, even though I lost my contact at lunch and had to see him basically through one eye the whole time. The next day, he called me and asked me to go out this coming Friday. So between Sunday and now, we texted maybe like once a day. He was always the one who initiated it. Okay? Even just to say something dumb, like, how's your coffee today, or whatever, like something stupid like that. And then, a few days ago, because a lot of you who know me know that I'm into perfume, so I was organizing my perfume, and I was like, oh, hey, by the way, what do you like to smell on a woman? Right? Not even thinking anything about it, because that's not serious to me. And then, yesterday, I cooked dinner and sent him a picture of it, and I said, maybe I'll cook it for you sometime, after you told me it looked good.
You know what? Wow.
He then calls me and says, this is moving way too fast. You can understand, I was seriously gobsmacked. Way too fast. We've been on one date. We've exchanged a handful of texts. Every communication was pretty much initiated by him. And he's the one who kissed me after our first date, by the way. So here I am thinking to myself, like, are there any men out there who are not flakes? Honestly. Thinking that going on one date where you initiated the kiss and told me, I really hope we can continue this, and then you continue communicating with me, and then I say something about maybe making dinner for you sometime, and asking you what perfume you'd like me to wear on our date, and you tell me it's moving too fast. Come on, dude, grow up. You're not ready for a relationship.
Ladies, men don't want to be bothered because they are tired of your narcissist attitude and lifestyle. Men are going MGDOW and leaving you all behind to now deal with yourselves in the dating pool. Women ruin men, and then ask why men don't want them anymore. To the first woman, yes, men don't want to commit anymore, because if divorce happens, they are ultimately destroyed. Women are looking for a traditional man, but won't cook dinner. Men are not scared, and where did you figure out that they are scared? They just don't want to do it. They know the consequences, and they know the outcomes, so they are seriously avoiding it, and it has nothing to do with being scared. These baseless accusations will never change the divorce laws. No man wants a run-through woman to be his girlfriend or wife. Do they ever look for those old-school men in their 20s? Because it sounds like those men have wisen up from looking at the older men. Women want the modern man, but don't want to be the modern women. Does it ever occur to them that men listen to all their reasoning, especially why they are divorced, and see their expectations versus what they will have in return? You painted yourselves into a corner, ladies, and now you have to wait till it all dry up, and that is one of the things that you can't blame men for. Marriage is a death trap for men nowadays. Men should learn to rely and focus on themselves. Fellas should learn to enjoy peace, freedom, money, house, etc. Life too short for these type of things. Men are tired of getting hurt and just want to have clear peace of mind.
Let me get this straight. You mean to tell me that women can punch, slap, throw things, spit at men, abuse them, cut them, pop their tires, be mentally, emotionally, physically abusive, and women can now dodge accountability by saying it's reactive abuse? Like, in what world have we normalized anything down to reactive abuse? So imagine for a second all of the toxic women that are now realizing, hey, I can do whatever the hell I want and I can get away with it. And men won't speak up because they don't want to risk going to jail. They don't want to risk losing their kids. They don't want to risk being turned so far against them that they lose everything when they're the ones actually being abused. It is so sick and twisted that this is teaching toxic women to further be toxic because they know that they can be verbally, mentally, emotionally, physically abusive to a man and nothing is going to happen to her. In fact, she'll get all of the praise because she's been manipulated as if men in relationships that are in this situation are not being manipulated, lied to, and suffering in their own right. And at the same time, these women will preach like domestic violence this, domestic violence that, but what you really mean is domestic violence only matters as it pertains to women, because as soon as it happens to a man, y'all want to dodge accountability. Like, somebody make it make sense. Okay, bye.
There is a right, there is a wrong, and then there is the law. That is called emotional immaturity. What is funny is that these same women want an emotionally matured man. A man getting married in this day and age must be insane. When men misbehave, they say it is toxic and abusive. When women misbehave, they say it is emotions, and so they are not responsible. The double standards are crazy. These women will be wondering why men stop dating or even are quitting marriages. And the judge takes their side also. So reactive abuse can also mean that a man is being verbally abused. And then when a man punches her in the face, then that is reactive abuse. There should be a law in the United States that must protect men from abuses. Women can't blame men for wanting a good relationship and how to react when they are doing the worst. I have seen this normalized countless times in TV shows and movies. The hypocrisy is seriously disgusting. They can and do accuse men of terrible acts and literally ruining their lives, but only to have it come out later that they lied without any consequence for them. Even more reason to have absolutely nothing to do with women. Men are no longer getting into relationships anymore. Make women's violence against men make sense. If a man reports an abusive woman, she goes boo-hoo in court, and suddenly he is guilty of who knows what. People with agendas. This isn't anything new, and the normalization is bound to get worse with time and clemency. The craziest part is that they are only reacting to the reaction from their own lunacy. These types of women are trying to maintain their privilege. It is a crazy world where abusive women can get away with anything, and it will even get worse. Today's video is finished. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section. See you all next time. Thanks for always watching.
In for Boston, Luke Cornett, Al Horford.
The Celtics working the ball around now. A shot by Pritchard, no good.
His shot selection's been poor. If I were coaching this team, he'd be sitting next to me.
Honolulu, no good that time either. It's stolen by Abdul-Jabbar. To the paint, Martin.
Did you invite
And
someone
comes off the
from
assist
here
by
to
Abdul-Jabbar.
doesn't mean you're pitcher, right?
Defense. That's one of the easiest shots he is
pitcher.
ever
Who
going
did
to
you
see.
send that to?
An unorganized
How was
defense
the
like
entire
that is not
conversation
going to
here?
help them close this deficit.
It's on your phone.
Pritchard passes to Walsh. And nothing is falling for him right now. And so it's Honolulu with it. Here in the fourth quarter, the defense have been very strong, allowing no extras. Doncic dishes
Basically, when Kumar reached out and
looking to get back on track here. And that one goes
Can I
long.
see your business card number right in case? Send it back in. Yeah. So we can see 3 o'clock. We're here. We're getting out of here.
For making it out and supporting your team. We hope to see you again soon for the next home game.
And a couple minutes here.
And the
He was on
execution
Grindr.
was flawed.
That's all we did this
Well,
guy.
folks,
I
that's
guess
going to do it for now.
Working here at
For
this
Steve Van
hotel.
Gundy, Greg
Again,
Anthony,
talking about
and David
crazy
Aldridge.
sexual stuff.
This is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for being with us tonight on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.
Hey, Jared, I just had to talk to you about the incident that happened on July 1st. Well, on July 1st, you came to the arcade in Troy to meet the female, right? Because I have it on file that he was there to meet a female.
No, he did not know.
He didn't know.
He has no idea. He told me he didn't know. He didn't believe her. And
Okay. That she was...
he called me.
No, we're gonna talk. So, okay, well, he's gonna go to jail. So, he's not gonna be here. He's not leaving